choices that we all have made. To be perfectly honest, the man you chose to marry was because of a choice. The woman that you chose to marry was because of a choice. And whether it worked out or not, it still was your choice. There are choices that we personally have made. Nobody has to confess it. But there are choices that you and I have made in life, and we still continually ask ourselves, what in the world was I thinking? Anybody been there? What in the world was I thinking? Let me ask a question, and I guess I'm really asking the women in the church. Anybody ever bought a pair of shoes, ladies, and the shoes were a little too small, but the color of the shoe, it just killed the dress? Y'all Barry know what I'm talking about. And that store did not have your size, but you looked at those shoes, and those shoes, they matched the purse, they matched the dress. Oh, come on, ladies, you know what I'm talking about. When you looked at it, oh man, but you just had to have those shoes. And so you made a choice that you were going to put up with a little bit of hurt and a little bit of toe cramping, because those shoes just knocked the whole outfit out of the park. Anybody been there? Anybody? Yeah. And it would have been nice if the store had your size, but they didn't. And as you looked at those shoes, you decided, I'm buying them anyway. Well, you made the choice. And when you came to church and you sat down in your pew and you felt those shoes and they were hurting your feet, you had to keep reminding yourself that you can't blame nobody but yourself. And then you're looking up here at the pastor saying, Pastor, hurry up now, bring it on in now, Pastor. Bring these shoes killing my feet, bring it on in. We all, as I make levity in fun of it, but we all, church, have made some choices in our life. And that's why this message is so pertinent, that whatever we decide to do in life, it's all up to you. It's all up to you. It was a choice. And if I may, I want to share just for a few minutes. And the reason this is going to be a brief sermon, that I don't know where my mind was, but I thought Sister Sailor would be here today, and the reception was today, and so I was going to cut it short because we had the reception going on. But the problem I find with a lot of folk is that we ask God to help us with the small, mundane things. We know that God is a supernatural God. We know that God can do those things that we cannot do for ourselves, and that's what he does, and that's why we need to call on him after we've made a choice and a decision to try to do it ourselves. But some of us, we don't even make the attempt to try it even ourselves before we fall down and call and cry to God, God, I need a job. Well, God says you got to put in the application first. Why you calling me? I don't put in applications. I ain't never seen God filling out an application for nobody. I guess what I'm telling you, church, is we have to learn to do some things ourselves. We serve the kind of God that says to us that you do what's possible and I'll do the impossible. Ooh. Yeah. You do everything that you can do before you come to me. Isn't that how you would love to see your children live their life? That they don't just keep coming to you all the time for the little simple things, you know, that they show you that at least, Mom or Daddy, I tried, you know, and I can't do it. And that isn't that what we parents are for? When our children have made an honest effort and tried, they bring it to mommy and daddy. And that's what we do. And so this message this morning is very pertinent because it's all up to us. And here in this text, there is a brother. The Bible says he was sitting by the pool for 38 long years. But I want to focus on one thing right here real quick, like Brother Dwayne. Here is a brother that is sitting by the pool and nobody is challenging him to change. I just believe, church, that there is something inherent in every man and woman. There should be a competitive juice flowing in every man. We know we have it. We talked about it back there during the fellowship break. Football, it get our juices going. I bet my team will beat you. You just wait and see. We're competitive. Ladies, the same way. You're competitive, you know. You care about, like things that you care about. And you're not going to let nothing stop you from having the best and being the best and doing your best. We were raised that way to be competitive. And so here it is in this text. Here's a brother who's sitting by the pool. Been sitting there for 38 years. And the Bible says, the story goes that the angel of the Lord will come down. You don't know when he's going to come, but when he comes down, he's going to stir up the water. And whatever illness you have, if you get in that water at that exact time, you will be healed. And this brother is sitting down, sitting there for a long time. And the Bible tells us that Jesus comes along. I just believe that whatever it is that you want to do in life, it's all up to you. It's all up to you. Can I share something with you? Please. Everybody got potential. But it's not until potential gets transformed into action that you will be able to attain what it is that you're trying to do. I get so sick of hearing people, they think that's something. Yeah, he got plenty of potential. She got plenty of potential. Potential is nothing if you can still just sit by the pool. Right. But I like this story because it kind of reminded me of my grandmother, because I have found that, sometimes people got to be made uncomfortable in order for them to be challenged to change. Can I break that down for you, Brother Robbins? My grandmother, bless her heart, when she would be walking down the street and there would be men down there and they see Miss Wilson coming, they'll take their liquor and they'll stick it behind their back. How you doing, Miss Wilson? Because she made them feel uncomfortable. They know how their mother raised them, and my grandmother knew their mother. And so they felt uncomfortable. They didn't want her to see them out in the streets drinking. Sometimes, church, we have to be made to feel uncomfortable. You know folk that have probably looked at you, started out at the same time in life, in school that you started out, and some kind of way you didn't get to where you intended to get. Your goal didn't get. You know what I'm talking about? And when you see folk and they see you and you're not doing what you should have been doing, you still sitting there with all that potential and you haven't acted, you haven't made a choice, you feel uncomfortable because here it is, this person, this teacher had you in her class, thought the world of you, the sky was the limit, and you ran into that teacher one day at the store. What are you doing? well, I'm looking for a job right now. But you had so much potential. And that teacher made you feel uncomfortable. Sometimes, church, you got to feel uncomfortable to be challenged to get up off your duff and do something. This brother at the pool, he was sitting there at the pool waiting on somebody to help him to get in the water. Stick a pin right there, because I want to come back there just for a minute, because here it is. We have to be challenged. And it asks the question, what type of friends do you have? What circle of friends do you have? Do you have the kind of friends that don't mind challenging you to change? Girl, you can do better than that. Okay. Come on, brother. Come on, man. I know you. You don't have to live like that. Do you have any kind of friends that will tell you the God's honest truth about you are sitting by the pool and you should have been got up from by that pool a long time ago? This man was sitting there for 38 years, but he never surrounded himself with the kind of friends, who cared enough about him to tell him the truth that he need to get up from where he is and start doing what God wants him to do, because God has given each and every one of us the power, the ability to do anything. Don't let me quote scripture that I quote every week. God says we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. Isn't that what he says? Yes, sir, DJ. You preaching real good back there, boy. This brother, he was at the pool because he had no one around him that would challenge him to change. What are you talking about, Pastor? I'm talking about your circle. Think about it in your own mind. Do you surround yourself with friends who are less than you? Because if we be honest, there are a lot of folk that surround themselves with friends that are less than them so they can be the big dog. Preacher. There are people that they don't want to surround themselves with people that will challenge them, but the truth of the matter is you need to surround yourself with people that will challenge you to do better. Don't surround yourself with people just so you can ego trip feeling like you the star of the show. Surrounding yourself with people who are less than you so you can feel like you the only pebble on the beach, the only star in the sky, you the only can in the alley. You got to learn, church, that it's all up to you. It's all up to you. God has given us everything we need to make it. But the choice is ours. And here I looked at this brother. Jesus comes up to him and Jesus asked the brother a question. He asked him, do you want to be healed? Now, to me, church, that seemed like a no-brainer. You've been sitting there 38 years and here come God, the one who we knows can do anything, and he asks you a question, and this brother answers, well, I've been sitting here all this time, and I ain't got nobody to help me to get up, to go get in the water when the angel stirs the water. Everybody just pass on by me, and nobody comes and help me. You know what I say to that, church? This man is letting what other folk won't do for him define his future. This man is sitting there waiting on folk. You should not be allowing other folk or what they do or what they won't do define or what you're going to become or what you're going to do in your life. It's all up to you. It's all up to you. This problem this brother has is he blames everybody else except himself. Well, people, they just walk all by me. Act like I'm not even sitting here. Ain't nobody just asked not one time, brother, can I help you up to get in the water? Look, I'm not telling you anything you don't know. This is a dog-eat-dog world. It is every man for himself and God for us all. And you got to stop waiting on people to help you to do what it is. You have the ability to do it yourself. You and God are a majority. Somebody once told me, if it's going to be, it's up to me. You got to believe that. There are two things that I'm going to leave you with, and that is that the reason it's up to you is that you could either fall short or you could stop short. And I challenge you, don't let it be that you stop short. If you fall short, that means you tried. You gave it your all. You tried, but for some reason, circumstances that were out of your control, you fell short. But you tried, and I take my hat off and apply on anybody that really tried, but you fell short. But when you stop short, that means that, oh God, that means I got tired, Pastor. I just got tired. It's time to go to school, Pastor. I just got tired. You stop short, and there's no excuse for stopping short. This text is a beautiful text because this text examines a brother that has gotten to the point where he's complacent. Y'all know what that means? That means that this man has lived for so many years doing the same thing, living in the same place, having the same thoughts, same ideas, got the same circle of friends. He has become complacent, sitting by the pool. And I challenge you this morning that you have to start making a choice about taking matters into your own hand. It's all up to you. Ain't nobody, as my mama would say, gonna do nothing for you if they don't see that you trying to do something for yourself. You got to get up from by that pool, church. You don't need to be sitting down there anyway in that circle. You serve the kind of God, that will do for you more than you could ever think or ask for. But God wants to see you move first. I tell folk all the time, you move and then God will move. You move and then God will move. I tell folk all the time, God gets a kick out of seeing you try your very best. Lord knows he sees you trying. And when God sees you trying, God will step in your situation and do something for you. It's called favor. He'll do something for you that opens a door. He'll do something that makes it easy. You won't even know why you got the loan. You know your credit was jacked up, but some kind of way the loan officer called you and said, your loan has been approved. That's the kind of God we serve. But you got to get up and make a choice and go down and do the things that you can physically do. God bless you, church. The doors to the church are now open. It's all up to you. Come by letter, stand to your feet. Told you I'd be short. Christian experience, candidate for baptism. The doors to the church are now open.